Imagine that there's a new device on the market where you input a microchip into yourself, which allows you to call on your cell phone hands-free. Sounds like a good deal, right? No more having to worry about like dropping it, having a screen crack, or like having to like go off in your pocket when you're in the car. Big cause of death. Don't want that. But what about the chip itself? A microchip of dysfunction sounds like a great idea, but it's probably better to know like what's at stake before just like going in, sticking one in your hand or your skull or whatever, just all willy-nilly like that. And that's kind of what I'm here for, I guess. So I guess I'll start with what a microchip actually is. Microchips are, well, as you probably guessed, they're really small, about the size of a single grain of rice. Microchips usually are implanted in animals, usually for like tracking with a special scanner. So human implants are actually like an actual reality, used for more advanced purposes, like using NFC, that's near field communication, to activate things like opening doors and things like that, like a key card, kind of, except like in your hand. Microchips are usually surgically inserted, but where usually depends on what animal or where you usually go. Some humans put it like in this fleshy spot between your thumb and your pointer finger. Like a cat, like usually has it like on its back, on top of its back, stuff like that. And we all know like the cow in the ear. Cow put it in the ear. So now that we actually know what the things are, let's get to the real point of our discussion here, like the goods and bads of this thing. I'll start with the goods. Probably the biggest thing about a microchip is that like it's safe. Like you got this thing in your hand, that thing's probably not going to come out. That thing's not going to come out. That's just moving your hand around like that. Once the chip's inside, it's difficult to remove because surgery. That thing's deep in there. You're not getting. Somebody that wants to get that thing isn't really going to get it out unless they got like a whole bunch of knives or something. According to this freelance journalist, having a chip implanted in your body is the same technology as having like a credit card or something in your wallet. Like people worried about like having their stuff stolen and something like that. Usually kind of things like think like getting a card. Think like a lunch card or something, sticking that in your wallet. It's kind of the same thing, except it's in your body. Basically what my point here is like the biggest thing about a microchip is that you're not going to lose it. Hands down. And now we get to the bad things. Probably one of the biggest things that I found while looking at microchips is that there are some health issues, let's say. There was a report I found that like some animal microchips, like in mice and dogs, ended up with cancerous cells inside of them. But then like that report proved to be false, so we kind of don't count that. Let's see, where was I? The FDA reported on a device called a VeriChip that caused electrical hazards, MRI, magnetic resonance imagery. I can't really describe to you what that is because I kind of forgot. Incompatibility with that, some adverse tissue reactions as some downsides. But does that mean every chip's like that? Not really. That's one chip out of a bunch. I'm just gonna say a bunch. But health issues could also differ. So like you could get something less bad, you could get something worse. Another issue though more with like chips that you like scan, like pet chips and some human chips, is some security risk. Like I said before, like the chip's like inside of you, so you're not like, so it's not like gonna fall out or anything like that. But like, someone if they really wanted to could like use a scanner. If they knew where your like chip was, they could just like hit the scanner, scan your chip in, and there you go. They got everything they need right there. In the case of this phone chip I've been talking about, it'd be like your name and your phone number, probably something else too. You never know. The AMA, I forgot what that was, published a report in 2007 that these implants may compromise your privacy because there's no way to assure that like all your data in your chip is gonna be protected properly. Because like all it is like a it's just a chip inside of your hand. It doesn't do anything until like someone scans it or like something nearby activates it. It's not like battery powered or anything. There used to be a problem with like some of these old chips, or like if you change like some kind of data, like I don't know if you had like if like an animal had a tracking chip or something, like they'd have to remove the chip surgically and then put a new one in. But we've got chips now that can change their data, so that's no longer a problem. So kind of what I got. Would you guys get this? Would you guys get the implant? What do you guys think?
No.
No? Yeah, like I said, it's kind of your decision, but I kind of agree with you. I wouldn't hold my breath on it. Like it seems like the good thing about like your chip never getting lost kind of like gets outweighed by like all the problems that kind of associate with it. But like these risks might not apply to like every chip that we have, but it's kind of considering like what we got is exactly that. Like the only ones we've got, the only chips we kind of got are the ones that I've kind of just talked about. We might have to work on some things before we can like safely say that we wouldn't have many problems with these microchips. Any questions?
My major concern with these chips would be more or less some government surveillance, as if like the government or any corporation in general, government is a corporation, you get the idea, could track you at any given moment. And then corporations could buy that information from the government using you as a cattle.
That is indeed a problem. That is indeed a problem. And yeah, like I said before, like there's no way to ensure that you can keep yourself private, because there's no way to make sure that stuff in your inside the chip stays private. Anything else?
Is this something that you think will like that the government will like try to get us to have done, like or something? Yeah, in the future.
Probably. If not the government, then whoever the heck's making the thing. Because like I said, people were I think more people would probably like go in and like get this chip if they could like just like do this and basically call somebody whenever they want to. But you never know.
So who are producing these chips? More independent companies or larger corporations?
This isn't. These chips actually aren't like some of these chips are. I actually don't remember off the top of my head. I think they're more like independent companies, but I'm not entirely sure.
That'd be hard though, because they'd have to pass all the FDA regulations.
Yeah.
And that costs a lot of money.
It does cost a lot of money. You probably, like I said, I don't remember off the top of my head. Anything else?
As a whole, Bryce, we had some stragglers come in because we
Yeah.
ran out of time in the other rooms, so we kind of mixed one, so we had people come in.
Yeah.
Can you just like summarize, like it was about human, like
Yeah, basically,
why
like,
chip in?
You got a chip. Call hands-free on your cell phone. The goods and the bads of it, like it's safe. Like it won't fall out of you or anything. Like it's surgically inserted, but like there's some health issues associated with it. Some privacy issues, security issues. Kind of more pros than cons. Kind of more pros and cons than pros. I mean, when getting on these.
Do any of you in here have a pet that has a tracking chip in it? None of you? Yeah,
These
I
do.
Well, we lost those pants, but don't hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and this is just, I know it's not the same, but it kind of is. I mean, the fact that you can track something, yes, so you have this chip in you, so you can call hands-free. Let's get real here.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can call hands-free, but really, what does that enable other people to do to track you? But like,
Stealing
you
stuff.
use pet, so like
Data-wise.
now all pets get these at the Humane Society. Did you get yours at the Humane Society, Lex? How about you, Ian? Or did you have it put in? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how expensive it is, but at the Humane Society, it's part of the package, so both of our puppies came with this chip in it, so if they run away, if somebody catches them, whatever, they just scan them, and then when you take them to the vet, they even check it, it's pretty cool, you know, so, you can find your lovely pet if they run away, but for a human, same idea. What if we had, you know, people get murdered all the time, what if you had this chip in you, and unfortunately somebody mutilates your body, and they, you know what I mean, I know it sounds grim and gruesome, but then you have human remains, but just the idea of somebody tracking you and having access to you,
Scary.
I don't think our government would ever require that would,
Probably not, but you never know.
then I'm moving to China, where it's
I hear Canada's nice.
communist.